It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down, we're sticking together. It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down, we're sticking together. It's all ghost town.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shit sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. That's what we become. I won't let them break me down. I know that there's a place for us. Oh, we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. This is me. I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. This is me.
priest. He was free at last.
He married a nun.
Luther posted 95 theses on All Saints' Day. Grace we receive. Money won't get us a reprieve. Just need faith and to believe. His name was Martin Luther. Looking for some truth, yeah. Reformation grew, yeah. We can thank that Martin Luther.
I know there's something in the wake of your smile. I get a notion from the look in your eyes. You've built a love, but that love falls apart. Your little piece of heaven turns to dark. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. Sometimes you wonder if this fight is worthwhile. The precious moments are all lost in time. We're swept away, nothing is what it seems. Feeling of belonging to your dreams. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. You can't find the words, the sense of magic, the beauty that's been when love was wilder than the wind. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. To your heart before you tell him goodbye. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Welcome to CLACCA ULC. Apologize for the late running of this church service. We've just come back from the Mardi Gras and Fair Day entrance briefing. If you're wondering what the two photos that I showed of, that is of Brother Porter from ULC Brisbane. The good news is that in terms of CLACCA ULC today officially CLACCA ULC has signed off on the paperwork. The spot that we are basically almost at the start of the Mardi Gras march route. We're going to put a video up in terms of all the logistics that were discussed at Mardi Gras, so that we don't have to keep repeating myself, but both myself and Brother Porter, we picked up the registration packs. Essentially, yeah. So we are almost. We're like it's the closest. It's the closest in the 23 odd years that I've been involved in Mardi Gras myself. With any entry. It's the closest. It's the closest I've ever been to like the front of the Mardi Gras march. So, and for a first time, for a first time entry, particularly a protest entry, and particularly a church entry, like that's pretty cool. Like never in a million years in my lifetime did I ever envision. So basically, we're generally speaking, normally we go and line up in College Street. So, but they've put us in Wentworth. They've put us in Wentworth Avenue, which is like bang, and it's basically up close towards the front of the march, because Liverpool, because there's three angles. So there's College Street for the bulk of Mardi Gras, and because Mardi Gras has grown so big, they've had to use three other streets. So they've also then got they've also got Wentworth Avenue, and then they've also got Liverpool. And so the beginning of the march is Liverpool, and so we're in Wentworth, like smack bang. That's pretty, that's almost at the front. That's almost towards the front, but not quite. So for me, it's the first time we've ever been in Wentworth. In previous years, we had been any entry that I've been part of. We'd always been in College Street. But yeah, they've put us in Wentworth. So, yeah, wow. That's pretty cool. The thing. So it was basically the. Both Fair Day, it was basically one step back in relation to Fair Day, and two steps forward in relation to Mardi Gras. Why I say one step back for the backwards in relation to Fair Day has to do with political policing, going on towards towards all Fair Day stalls in relation to a misinterpreted sustainability guideline that in fact doesn't actually quite exist, because the council regulations, the sustainability council regulations for any event actually support the right of printed materials. If the printed materials are made out of recycled material, then it actually is in favor. So like it appears to me like there's been a misinterpretation of the rules, and so essentially we will be putting a media release out, but we did call in relation to the Fair Day entrance briefing. We did call on Fair Day. Fair Day to stop the political policing of Fair Day stall giveaways. Considering we've all paid the price through fighting for equality, for the equal right to be there in Fair Day. Fair Day. The City of Sydney, like Fair Day should be calling on City of Sydney Council, council to stop the political policing of Fair Day stall giveaways. Considering each stall holder pays money to have a stall there. Particularly in LGBTIQ communities, like it was very clear from the momentum going around the room that many people had concerns in relation to the political policing over printed materials, like particularly like there was one school there who had concerns over are we going to be policed over are we going to be policed over giving a child a colouring in book and a sticker? And likewise, like there were other groups that had concerns over in relation to like megaphones and megaphones. So it's definitely like it definitely in terms of Mardi Gras, like it seems to me like they've turned their attention to doing their political policing on Fair Day, which is never in a million years did I ever consider that they would be political policing Fair Day. So it's definitely a fight that CLACCA ULC will be standing out for, because like in terms of CLACCA ULC, we've always distributed secondhand books and secondhand good quality queer activist stuff, in which we're stopping queer activist stuff winding up in landfill or fill. So we're actually doing a service to the City of Sydney, and we don't. And we spoke to a number of groups who agreed that considering we're stopping like secondhand books from being put into landfill that are in support of the queer community. It's not okay in any way, shape, or form to go to this extent to oppose like distributing free, good quality secondhand books, particularly, preventing them from like ending up in landfill, because and it's like CLACCA ULC, we've never had a problem before, but in no way, shape, or form from CLACCA ULC, we're not going to tolerate political policing, regardless of what LGBTIQ community group people are from. People have a right to distribute, to give away material in support of the LGBTIQA plus community who could otherwise not afford it. And it's providing a unique service for the City of Sydney, and Fair Day and Mardi Gras should be taking a strong stance. And supporting groups like CLACCA ULC and a number of other groups who do it too, of distributing, secondhand good quality, giving away, secondhand good quality goods in support of the queer community, and it's not okay to political police, whether it be pamphlets, distributing whether it be pamphlets, to inform the queer community of the latest protests that are upcoming, coming, or whether it be regardless of what that may be. At the end of the day, considering everyone has paid the price for the equal right to have a stall there, and considering that Fair Day gets the space free, what business is it of the City of Sydney Council to political police our Fair Day event that is for the LGBTIQ community and providing a service. And so we are going to speak up about it. We're not afraid to speak up about it. And it was an important question to ask, ask. And at a time where, particularly at a time where World Pride is coming to Sydney, Mardi Gras and Fair Day should be taking a strong stand. While it's great that Mardi Gras is supporting the right to protest, and is supporting, groups putting up, political messages, etc., in support of transgender rights, etc., and is supporting the right to protest. That's terrific. That's brilliant. But just as equally, they've also got to support the right to distribute free queer political education in our community, in order to help, to educate the upcoming next generation. So we will be. We considering there was very clear momentum in that Fair Day briefing in which everyone questioned it. It's clear to me that something needs to be done to change it, because from my reading of it, it appears to me that there's a clear misreading of City of Sydney Council's sustainability guidelines. And yeah, it's not okay. It's basically turned it into political policing. And if they're very much about supporting sustainability, then support groups that are distributing free secondhand good quality stuff that is benefiting the rights of the LGBTIQA plus community. That's all I've got to say in relation to that. More information in relation to both Fair Day and Mardi Gras will be coming up. We will be publishing a video in relation to that. Stay tuned for more details in relation to that. Now, I would also like to acknowledge that the land that we're meeting on is of the Gadigal people and the Wangal people of the Eora Nation, and paying respects to the elders, both past and present, and recognise sovereignty, treaty, and social justice will never be ceded. So the other important announcement we've got, the next Zoom meeting, is happening 2 p.m. next Friday. Please join us. We CLACCA ULC, we still have spots available. But we still have spots available for anyone who wants to join us for our protest for transgender rights in Mardi Gras. Because we do have spots available. If you would like to register, get involved. We need volunteers both for Fair Day and Mardi Gras. To find out the further details in relation to that, head to our CLACCA ULC Facebook page. It's No Pride in Religious Transphobia, Equality Without Exemption, Mardi Gras protest float, and that's all in relation to that. Also, I would like to thank Porter for helping us to register, helping us to pick up our registration packs. The other important announcement we've got is t-shirts have arrived. So essentially, if you would like to get one of these delightful t-shirts, that's another good reason to register to join us. We will also be having open communion. Please join us for open communion. Likewise, the other important announcement is Pride and Protest. Protest on the day of Fair Day at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. At the hub are having a protest. For equality, not austerity. I strongly encourage, strongly equally encourage people to like get along, and also equally join that because the corporatization, I think that the Pride and Protest Mardi Gras protest will, just as it's continued to help to make a change in Mardi Gras and keeping it grassroots, etc., just as equally, we've got to wage the fight to also likewise return Fair Day to its grassroots origins as well as a protest educational space for in defense of LGBTI QA plus rights, etc., and as a way to promote and distribute upcoming materials in support of Mardi Gras protest entries. And that is it for now. So we will now bring you today's so now we're just going to go to another song, and then we will bring you the message. Cool. So we're just going to go to another song, and then we'll bring you the message.
Already I hear the music, a victory drawing near. Freedom has arrived, rejoice. And from my lips a cry of praise. Here I am, send me out. Give me strength enough to lift my voice and shout against poverty, honestly, against the injustice in our society. Let this to us be true. If not us, who? Already I hear the laughter of hungry souls starved no more. I have changed forever my ways, so I am no longer afraid. Here I am, send me out. Give me strength enough to lift my voice and shout against poverty, honestly, against the injustice in our society. Let this to us be true. If not us, who? Here I am, send me out. Give me strength enough to lift my voice and shout against poverty, honestly, against the injustice in our society. Let this to us be true. If not us, who? Already I hear the music.
These are the faces of children making history in Australia, doing their very best to live life truly as themselves.
I wanted to be a princess and I wanted to play with Barbies and watch all those movies and stuff. I knew that I was different and inside I always felt like a girl, but I just didn't know how to say that in words.
Evie McDonald was just 9 years old when she had suicidal thoughts. It was this unsettling message that reinforced to her parents that this was not a phase.
I wrote, I want to die, because for me it felt like I'd rather go to heaven and I'd rather be a girl in heaven than live here as a boy. I snapped and I said, well, why can't you just accept me for who I am? She came to me and she said, why do you want to die? And I told her that was the reason why. And she goes, well, I'd rather have, a daughter that is alive than have a son that's dead.
At this point, Mum Megan desperately sought professional help for Evie.
What I was doing by not actually supporting my child was actually worse. My kid was really struggling. If I didn't support Evie, I categorically know that Evie wouldn't be here. So she would have at least attempted suicide multiple times, or at even worse, actually completed it.
In 2014, 5-year-old Briella Carmichael was admitted to hospital for self-inflicted wounds.
At school, and Balin never drank water because Balin didn't want to use the boys' toilets because Balin wasn't a boy, Balin's a girl. It was really hard.
When I was a boy, I felt sad.
In a landmark ruling in 2017, it was decided gender-diverse children would no longer have to go through the family court to access hormone treatment, making transitioning much easier. Georgie Stone led the high-profile campaign after becoming the youngest person in Australia to be granted hormone blockers at just 10 years old.
These children are just children. I go to schools to educate the staff, and they begin to change their language. So they're not saying, we want all the girls to go and do this. We want to say things like, all the children who are doing this activity come over here. And that way it opens it up so that there's not that gender divide.
According to the Royal Children's Hospital Melbourne, 1% of the population identifies transgender, with children as young as 3 and 4 expressing gender concerns. Tragically, 1 in 2 of these children will self-harm or attempt suicide. Gender clinics across the country have seen a huge rise in child referrals. Here at the Children's Hospital at Westmead, the number has skyrocketed in the last 6 years, from 1 patient in 2013 to 54 last year.
Parents are supporting their children, they're recognising what's going on, and they're seeking professional support because they can see that their children are suffering. And I think that's been the most magnificent change.
Kimberly Keynes, 9.com.au.
Should never set upon an argument. I believe we place our happiness in other people's hands. I believe the junk food tastes so good because it's bad for you. I believe your parents did the best job they knew how to do. I believe that beauty magazines promote low self-esteem. I believe that love will completely by myself alone. I believe in karma, what you give is what you get returned. I wedded bliss negates the need to be undressed. I believe that God does not endorse TV evangelists. I believe in love surviving death into eternity. I believe in karma, what you give is what you get returned. I believe you can't appreciate real love till you've been burned. I believe the grass is no more greener on the other side. I believe you don't know what you've got until you say goodbye. I believe in karma, what you give is what you get returned. I believe you can't appreciate real love till you've been burned. I believe the grass is no more greener on the other side. I believe you don't know what you got until you say goodbye. Until you say goodbye. Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Cool. So today's message that we're bringing you comes from it's a preview, and it comes from it's a preview, and it comes from Genesis 22, 1 to 2, 9, 15 to 18, Romans 8, 3 to 31 to 34, and Mark 9, 1 to 9. And the message is this. Vigilance always implies austerity. Lent is a time of preparation and expectancy that is situated in a context of austerity and exigency. The text for this Sunday seemed to contradict this frame of reference. In Mark's Gospel, the preceding scene relates to the profession of faith of Peter, eager to acknowledge Jesus as the Messiah and slow to understand that all that was involved in practice. Jesus avails himself of the opportunity to point out the necessary conditions for discipleship. Jesus takes Peter, James, and John, who had witnessed healing of the child whom everyone thought to be dead, and leads them to a high mountain, the classic place of an important revelation. There the Lord is transfigured. The white of his clothes, which no one on earth, Mark 9-3, could bleach, expresses that new condition. The prophets of the law, Elijah and Moses, represent history and the significance of the people of Jesus in the Lord. This history reaches its total fulfillment. This episode is filled with light, which foreshadows the resurrection of Jesus. He has spoken about his death and resurrection to his disciples, but they, in Peter's words, do not seem to understand what Jesus is telling them. Surprised, Peter himself speaks up and proposes to stay. It is good for us to be here. Implacable, Mark adds, he did not know what to say. In addition, he points out that the disciples were terrified. This explains how inopportune Peter's suggestion is, but history cannot be stopped, and we must grasp its significance. The light of the resurrection enables us to see it with hope The death of Jesus is not the victory of darkness, which is already overcome. This is the meaning of the transfiguration. The hope which the resurrection infuses in us is a manifestation of God's gratuitous love. If God is with us, in Romans 8:31, we have nothing to fear. Fear leads Peter to want to interrupt the course of history and to take refuge in a kind of parenthesis from it. However, belief in God is not an escape from history, however harsh it may be. At the heart of Lent, the resurrection of Jesus must be the cause of profound joy and stimulating hope. It is from God's love that his justice, that is to say, his saving work, comes to us. What it demands in exchange is our own surrender without deceit or holding back, as in the difficult account of the sacrifice of Isaac, which did not take place in Genesis 22. Abraham's faith is absolute. It inspires his life, encouraged by the hope of the resurrection. Our surrender to the Lord has to be a testimony of the love of God. It deals with an affirmation of life in the face of the many unjust deaths we see in various places of the world. Our next song of praise is You Say, and then we will go to Open Communion.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You'll have every failure, God. you'll have every victory.
On the night that Jesus was betrayed, Jesus took a loaf of bread and broke it and said, "This is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And in the same way, Jesus took the cup after supper and blessed it, saying, "This cup is the new covenant of my blood, which is poured out for you. Do this in remembrance of me." This table does not belong to the state. It doesn't belong to the church. It belongs to God, and all are welcome to the table, including your political propaganda. Get creative, get active, and feel free to share in this meal, and more importantly, spread your message of equality throughout the world at World Pride. Please come and share in this meal. Our next song of praise is Together We Can Change the World by Mark Shepherd.
We're going to change the world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out. Find out what it's all about. Together we can change the world. Change the world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now it's time for our offering. If we'd like to donate CLACCA ULC to C's Fighting Funds, there are two ways you can you can donate to CLACCA. There are three ways you can donate to CLACCA ULC. First up, you can financially you can volunteer. You can create. You can donate your secondhand queer political propaganda to support our campaign in defence of queer political speech at Fair Day, as well as education, queer education. That's two things you can do. The third thing that you can do, because the financial aspect is always a last priority for CLACCA ULC, and that is you can financially donate to our fighting fund to keep us going and support the work and life that we do. And you can do that at CLACCA Universal Life Church, BSB 112-879 495 470 290 or GoFund.me/16910E99. And our final song of praise for tonight, before we leave you, is The Village by Rebel. My name is Mr. Rev Comrade Rowley. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned for further updates, dates, and announcements. And if you would like to stay in touch, you can do so at claccaulcsydney.godaddy.com, or you can contact us on a mobile 0459 771 520. 0459 771 520.
No, your mom don't get it, and your dad don't get it, Uncle John don't get it. And you can't tell Grandma 'cause her heart can't take it, and she might not make it.
Why can't she just be a lesbian?
Because she's not a lesbian, Mom. She's a boy.
But she's a person who likes girls. That could be a boy or a lesbian, and she's still getting her period, so I vote lesbian.
He's still getting his period.
There's something wrong in the village, Oh, they stare in the village, There's nothing wrong with you. It's true. There's something wrong with the village, There's something wrong with the village.
She never wore dresses. You said it didn't matter.
This isn't about wearing dresses. It's not a choice. It's not a whim. I'm having a shitty day, Mom. I'm having a shitty existence.
There are risks. They're serious risks.
I know.
She may not be able to get pregnant. What if she changes her mind?
What if he commits suicide? Been a problem with the papers.
Something wrong in the village.
Here. Father has to sign it. Okay. But he won't. Why does he care? He hasn't seen me since I was basically a baby.
I didn't leave my family.
I feel pretty left.
I'm sorry if you're this way because of me. Are you this way because of me?
I'm a lot of things because of you. This isn't one of them.
There is no Ramona anymore. It's just Ray. Now, I went through losing my daughter all by myself, and I will be raising my son exactly the same by myself.
It's just such a monumental decision. Oh, God.
Honestly, I think Ray is the only good decision I've ever made. If we go through with this, does that make me the best mother on the planet or the worst? Do you remember we were going to name him Cole if he was a boy? And now she is a boy, and his name is Ray, like a truck driver or something? What if he turns around one day with a full beard and says, Mom, I made a mistake?
What's the date?
This is fucking insane. Jesus. I didn't do anything. She just showed up.
He.
Sorry. He.
Let's talk about Ray. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to use this, right? It's not very complicated. Testosterone. A couple of do's and don'ts. Right, Ray?
Hello, thank you very much for joining CLACCA ULC. My name is Mr. Rev, Comrade Rowley. Stay tuned for updates. Goodbye for now. See you next Sunday. God bless and bless. We do have Fair Day. CLACCA will be will be there. We'll be there on Sunday the 19th. We will also be marching in Mardi Gras, the following Sunday on the 25th of February, and then we will also be marching in the Pride March and tuning as well. Pride events. My name is Mr. Rev, Comrade Rowley. Thank you very much for joining us. God bless, and bye for now.